Hey Summit community, greetings from Lander, Wyoming. Today I wanted to share with you 4 tips that I have to get started hiking with your feline companion. So while this might be kind of an obscure topic, it's something that I've actually been doing a lot of quite recently. So I thought it would be cool to make a video with a few tips that I've learned in this very interesting process in case you're interested in doing the same. So tip number 1, ideally you want to start hiking with your cat as young of an age as possible. So preferably this means as a kitten, but older cats are totally capable of adapting to being outside and hiking as well. It might just take a longer process, so there might be a bit more of a learning curve. I think the hardest part of the entire process, in my opinion, was actually getting them comfortable wearing and walking around in a harness. And so if possible, my suggestion to you would be to allow them to wear the harness around the house or wherever their homestead may be, kind of as a collar instead of a collar, to really help them get used to its presence until it's kind of a non-issue to wear it. And I wish my my hiking feline friend would join us for this video, but as you know, all of you cat lovers, they're not necessarily the most cooperative, so I wasn't able to feature her, but I am going to post a video of her hiking and a little bit of the process later on, so keep an eye out for that. But on to tip number 2. It's really important to keep your feline friend as safe as possible. So that means definitely purchasing the proper gear, including a non-slip harness and a leash that will give them enough leeway to explore as they will, but not necessarily get wrapped up in a whole bunch of things. I find that climbing cordelette works really well for this purpose, but I'm sure there are tons of options out there that work equally well. So a few things to practice include tethering them to a solid point to get used to that idea of actually being tied to that point in the harness, and then encouraging them to explore on their own while they're tethered. So tip number 3, you want to really ensure that your cat or kitten is healthy enough to get out and get started hiking. So you want them to be up to date on all necessary vaccines, especially those involving any exposure to outdoor elements that a house cat would otherwise not receive, such as certain vaccines for outdoor cats, tick preventatives, things like that. So also heartworm and basic flea and tick prevention in general. So the best thing to do if you're not really familiar with what your cat needs is to take your cat into the vet, have them evaluate it, and ask them, let them know what your plans are, and kind of they'll give you a game plan and an overview of what your cat would need to be outside in your specific area. So it's going to be different from area to area also. So that's something to keep in mind. But yeah, just ensure they have a clean bill of health before taking them out into the backcountry. And finally, and I think this is kind of the most important tip, and also kind of a lesson that you learn as you work through this process, teaching your cat to hike with you, as opposed to a dog, for example. Have realistic expectations based on, the fact that they are a cat as opposed to, a canine, for example. So not all cats are going to enjoy being outdoors at all in general, for one, and many of them won't necessarily be thrilled about hiking, or even if they do get outside, they might not be thrilled about leaving their outside territory that they might establish, so going out into wild places. So, the best thing is if you find your cat doing well outside and you're able to get them to start hiking short distances, still keep in mind the limitations of their size and their species, and expect to carry them parts of the way. So I've learned that as much as my cat actually likes hiking and will stay on the trail for pretty extended distances, she's not going to be on the trail the entire time. She's going to get tired at some point, so I expect to carry her, and alternatively also let her ride on my backpack. So teaching your cat to ride on your backpack is a great supplementary option to kind of letting them hike on their own. So quickly to recap, 4 tips that I have to get started hiking with your feline companion. First tip, start them out at as young of an age as possible. So preferably as a kitten, but even an older cat can definitely adapt. It just might take a little bit more time. First and foremost, and most importantly, get them comfortable wearing a harness. Whether you are comfortable putting it on them all the time and letting them be in it and they're comfortable with that, that's great. That's a great way for them to get used to its presence and then to associate the leashing up part with the actual hiking part as opposed to the harness being an issue of itself. Tip number 2, keep your friend safe by using the proper gear. So a properly fitting harness that's designed so that they can't escape out of it, and encourage them to explore when tethered to a point outside while on leash. Next tip, make sure they're healthy enough to be outdoors and to be hiking. So best thing is to go to your vet, explain, what you're trying to do, and kind of have them give you a breakdown of the requirements that they would recommend. And finally, have realistic expectations. Not all cats are going to be the best hikers or even enjoy being outdoors at all. So just be realistic in your expectations. Even if they do end up being able to hike short distances, expect to carry them part of the way, and or alternatively, you can teach them to ride on a backpack, which is a great supplementary option to actually having them hike alongside of you. So for those of you that were interested in this topic, I hope you found these tips useful, and if not, perhaps added a bit of humor to your day. The hiking world can be an interesting one, and I've definitely gotten some looks during this process, but it's been really fun and really rewarding, so I wanted to share this with you. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.
Hey guys, it's Amanda. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're new to hiking and backpacking, I just wanted to recommend that you check out our Adventure Academy Summit, where you'll find everything you need to know to learn how to become a safe and confident hiker. In Summit, we have tons of video courses, ebooks, and downloadable cheat sheets. We also do weekly live webinars where you can get any questions that you might have on a variety of subjects answered in real time. Summit also comes with a really convenient mobile app, which includes sort of a mini Facebook for all of its members built into the platform, so you can connect with other adventure junkies in your area at your convenience. It's really cool. If you want to give it a chance, check it out and go to the adventurejunkies.com/academy or click the link in the description below. I look forward to seeing you in Summit.